Reality recap.
Hi, Evelyn. Yes, I know you have the reunion. Yes, we have 2 more episodes. And then we have the reunion of
I look like the slay. I look like a mom. She was like, you the one that look like you got a high body count hair. I fell the fuck out, y'all.
Candace, has Deborah reached out to you to apologize after the episode aired showing Chris did not flirt with her?
She wouldn't dare. She would get eaten for breakfast.
Oh boy.
No, she's doubling down.
Why would you go meet with Ray J without talking to Princess or letting her know why? Like, she's trying to justify that she told her after the fact and not supposed to make it.
What do you think of your ex-husband Jim coming out and saying you did not try to stop him from suing Shannon and Tamara?
That's a good question. Well, I mean, if his memory is a little foggy about what transpired back then, that's okay. However, he did admit that I had nothing to do with the...
Reality recap. Reality recap.
What's up, guys? It is your girl V with Reality Recap here for another Tea Talk sesh. I want to ask a favor before we get started. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, and if you want to see more content like this, please keep liking, keep commenting, share. And again, don't forget to subscribe. Today, we are discussing in our Tea Talk sesh this past Sunday's episodes of Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine. It is no secret that I am not a huge fan of either one of these seasons. Married to Medicine seems to be dragging for me, very slow, as well as Potomac just doesn't have any excitement. If I may say, we know that, Karen has a DUI situation that she can't talk about. We're learning more about this girl, Stacy, which, by the way, y'all like her. I don't. But I'm not pleased with these seasons. It's just nothing really exciting happening for me. Y'all know I'm maybe biased because I love Salt Lake City, but that's just how I'm feeling right now. So we're going to get into Potomac. Let me put them up on the screen so that people know who we're talking about. But we're going to get into Potomac, and I just have a few things about Potomac. We started off back in the same, I want to say, argument where Giselle and Karen, they confronted Mia about the conversation that G had with Ray, right? Where he was pretty much seemed to be, in my opinion, in his sound mind, not in a manic state, explaining his side of the story, that he's already had a paternity test done on his son Jeremiah and knows that it's his son, that he did it without Mia's consent because in that state, or the laws, however he put it, was that he doesn't need her permission. He also talked about the whole situation when Mia was in Panama and how, yes, he felt that his children were going to be around Ink. So he went and got them from her mom's care so that he could take care of them, but not in like he was taking them away, but he just doesn't feel comfortable with Ink around the children. He doesn't know him well enough, and rightfully so as their father, if he wants to pick his children up and have them while she's out of town. And they basically are saying or accusing me of having some holes in her story, right? She comes on every week. She's crying about how G is in this manic state. She doesn't know what, G she's going to get that day, that he, sometimes okay with G, with Ink being around and sometimes not, that he takes the kids without telling her, all of these things that she's been bringing to the table, which I necessarily don't believe. I told you guys over and over again, I feel like Mia is curating her storyline to make it to the top into that middle seat that you see here on our screen. And, rightfully so, they have questions. Like, you come to us crying, saying that he doesn't, it's affecting your relationship with with Ink. Then we see you the next day on social media with everybody by the pool, cheersing and having a good time. So which one is it, right? And Mia, you could tell, in my opinion, was a bit guilty just because of the attack on Karen. We're not talking about Karen right now, sis. We're talking about you. And she's like, oh, well, we can't talk about your DUIs and you getting all the ping, anybody that open up their ping to you. And it's like, huh, girl. And even Giselle said it like, we all know that Karen's sleeping around, so that ain't even a dig, which was shade on her part. But she instantly deflected from the situation, and she's upset that they're questioning her relationship or the things that she says or that she's navigating, though you've painted this picture of G and he's given his side. So I don't see an issue with everyone having questions. Now, again, with Stacy, I have to say I don't really care for Stacy. Like, she had a little shady moments. Ha cool. I think I got turned off just, and again in this episode too as well, of her waiving child support and really seeming oblivious going through this marriage and this divorce, I should say, and not really protecting herself. Like, I get, your husband today, you feel like he's going to always take care of your child, but to waive the child support and get alimony saying, well, he takes care of everything, and just assuming or trusting that it's going to stay that way. And she's saying that their divorce is so great and so peaceful, then why are you getting divorced? It doesn't make sense to me. And I just think that she's not making smart decisions, is how I feel. So I've been a little turned off listening to her say for the last 2, 3 episodes, I'm waiving my child support. I'm waiving my child support. Everything's taken care of. Knowingly that you don't have a job, you ain't working at HSN right now, which I'm still interested in. Is she not at HSN because of her relationship with TJ? Because he worked there as well. She said that. So I'm still trying to get to the bottom of that no one seems to be asking questions on. Like, did you get fired? Did you leave? Was there like a no fraternization policy that you decided to leave because you're going to pursue this with TJ? Like, what's the deal? Or did she quit and come back because of her divorce? I don't know, but I want to hear more about why she's not at HSN rather than about TJ or you waiving your child support. So she pretty much jumps in this feud on Mia's side. And I'm also not a big fan of that when a housewife brings you in and you turn on them. I don't really care for that too much. So being that Karen introduced her to the group and really brought her on, that was the extension on the olive branch that she got on the show. For her to then turn on her and take me aside as if she's not been hearing all of the stuff that me is saying and it contradicting to the meeting that, G had with Ray. I just don't get where she's coming from, but she's pretty much taking me aside and saying, I guess she wants to be the peacemaker. This is not how you treat friends, and like as if they're not supposed to question it. I don't know, but I'm not really feeling Stacey that much. Sorry. I know she's the positive light and everybody thinks she's great, but unpopular opinion, I think I don't really care for her. And in this drag show, right? They table the conversation. Mia's upset and mad that she's getting questioned about her story that she brought to them, not the other way around. Nobody went prying to find out what's going on in her household with her and G, right? This is all stuff that she's bringing to our attention. And we get to this drag show, and I don't think Ashley did a great job. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm Debbie Downer today or what, but I don't think Ashley did a great job. She didn't embody a masculine demeanor. Her dancing was all over the place. It looked like a little kid trying to mimic Michael Jackson moves. It was not a good performance for me. And if you are a drag king, ripping off your blazer with bejeweled pasties on doesn't seem to quite fit what your dance should be about. Now, honestly, I've never seen a drag king show before. I don't know, but just from her mentor that was helping her, I expected a more masculine dancing, maybe like, some male stripper moves. But yeah, and I definitely didn't think she was gonna rip off her blazer with bejeweled pasties and suspenders with Uncle Lump sitting in the audience and her aunt. I don't know why she invited her mom and uncle and aunt to that. I get she wants their support. Maybe you could have left Uncle Lump out. He looked so uncomfortable. All I could do was just laugh. Like, poor Uncle Lump. He's sitting there like, okay, what's going on here? I don't know. Maybe she forgot that part of her routine was whipping out her melons in front of the crowd and she invited him, or maybe she put that in the routine after he was already invited. I don't know. But it was the most awkward cringe moment outside of her singing Coffee and Love and her other stuff at the GNA event, child. Like her performances are just getting cringe, more cringe by the moment. And I'm just not here for it. Also in this episode, Mia picked up Ink from the airport. He comes into town, and unbeknownst to Mia, Ink is already aware of the paternity test results because he said that G texted him directly. Now, I will say at the beginning of my recaps for this season, I was saying, I felt like Mia has sat down with G, with Jackie, with Ink, and they had a board, their vision board of how they were going to have this season go to gain popularity and, more money for her per episode. I'm starting to think she still had that conversation, but it wasn't G included now. I'm starting to feel like it must have been her, Ink, and Jackie, and they were going to paint G to be this manic person that they were going to bring their relationship on and show how happy she is with Ink and get the crowd on her side of why she should leave G. And it's just not working out that way for her. And I am here for G poking holes in her story. Him texting Ink directly was just a chess move that I was happy to hear about. And even if it was a home DNA test, it's done. The results came in, and Mia had the results, which was interesting. She had the results, and Ink's asking her about it. So, like, you didn't tell me about this. He said he has results, and she's like, "Well, it's sitting in my inbox." Okay, girl. So why you ain't told nobody? You already knew this. That's why it's just the 2 plus 2 is not adding up for me. Expressed his frustrations about how, Mia and G operate with no boundaries. It's impacting their relationship, and he not really feeling it. Well, sir, that's what happens when you go into a relationship with someone that is still married. Hello? So you have to respect those boundaries that are either set or not set, or set your own boundaries. But she's not divorced, no paperwork in. G told Ray that they ain't even looking to do the divorce right now because neither one of them in a rush to get married again. So why rush the divorce? They're figuring it out. That's what G said, honey. So they are supposedly not together now. And that's what she said on Watch What Happens Live after the episode, that, her and Ink are not together, that he all of a sudden feels like this show is not conducive to his brand that he's built in the radio industry. Yet he was more than willing to come on at the beginning of this season and call G a grandpa and ask for the paternity test and all of that stuff. So all of a sudden it's not conducive. I don't know if I even believe that. I don't know if I believe that they're not together. I mean, she's been posting pictures of her with G on New Year's Eve. Someone has snapped a picture of her and G on a plane going to the Bahamas with the kids. So she made it seem like they're just she's just focused on co-parenting right now. I don't really know where Mia head's at. If she's getting back with G, if she's really away from Ink, I don't know. Nor do I care at this point. I've become uninterested due to just the faulty storylines. And that's just how I'm feeling. I'm over it. The season finale is next week. We did see Stacy at the end of this episode sit down with Mia and tell me a bunch of things that Karen said, like warning her not to be friends with Mia or not to be friends with Wendy. Of course, Mia's going to take that back to Wendy and cause friction between Wendy and Karen, which, by the way, I don't believe that Karen said that about Wendy. I don't. So we'll see who Wendy believes, or if she has some proof of her saying that. But overall, I'm glad we're to the season finale. Wendy, she teased on Watch What Happens Live with Andy that this is, top tier reunion. It's one of the best. There's receipts that's going to be brought by a person that we wouldn't suspect. I can't wait to see. I don't know if the receipts are going to be from Ink, G. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm excited to get to the reunion. We know Karen is not there. We'll see what their reactions are to her, DUI convictions and things like that. I really wish she could have been there, but she went into rehab. Her sentencing is coming up. I believe her sentencing is tomorrow. So I definitely will keep you guys posted on that. But yeah, the season was lackluster, but this reunion is supposed to be right up there under Monique's binder moment. And I'm excited to see. It better deliver. Uncle and Daddy Andy has a tendency to tell us every time that the reunion is going to be epic, it's going to be great, and not always the case. So we will see after the season finale. So season finale will be this coming Sunday. We'll take a break because of the Super Bowl. So Sunday, the 2nd, will be the finale. They will be on break for the 9th for the Super Bowl, and then they will come back for reunion part 1 on February 16th. So y'all make sure to look at that, check it out. And I'll be here recapping, but we'll see what happens in the season finale if that has any juiciness to it at all. Now, let's get into Married to Medicine, shall we? Let me bring them up on the screen. Married to Medicine. This season isn't giving much for me. It's not. I don't know. I'm hoping maybe they have a great reunion as well. Um, the group is traveling this episode to Key West, and let's start off on a positive note. Let's back up. Positive note, Jackie, Simone, and Heavenly, they all went to the White House. They got to meet with the VP about women's reproductive rights. It was dope to see. It was positive, and I enjoyed that light on the issues, and just seeing them as well respected physicians, gynecologists, dentists, in the community, and the hard work that they do. I thought that was absolutely great. Um, Also on this episode, like I said, they traveled to the Keys, and seemingly Dr. Heavenly has made up with Sweet Tea and with Contessa. I don't know if I necessarily believe that or how long that's going to last, but they have seemingly sweep things under the rug, let's say that, and are getting along to get along. And Contessa comes, and she hugs Heavenly, but kind of throws her to the ground to let her know, like, you can get these hands, square up. Oh, remember I told you that. So I don't know how genuine it really is. There's gonna be a lot of people on this trip. Heavenly, for whatever reason, has invited Apollo and his wife on this trip. She says she knows Apollo very well from some podcasts they've done together. I don't know how true that is, but just like I said about Nell on my Love and Marriage Huntsville recap, Heavenly is just that person that we know is signed up to say, I will start the mess. I will curate the mess. I will create the environment for the mess. So I will be the one to invite Apollo. He is not a physician. He's not even the medical field. I don't know why he needs to be on this trip, other than you can see underlying this is where they have, as a group, decided to go against Phaedra or try to get Phaedra off the show. I can feel that undercurrent coming, right? It's similar to what they did to Quad last season. And then they decided, oh, we did Quad wrong. We getting bashed on the internet. I have to make this right. There's been a lot on the internet saying that Phaedra was the one having meetings to get Quad off of the show, yada, yada, yada. And now they are seemingly in cahoots, in my opinion, to do the same to Phaedra. So Heavenly has invited Apollo on the trip. They are going after Phaedra, saying she didn't donate to the Met Gala event, that the guy that bid on a date asked for his money back. Phaedra did go online and put up her check, the proof of her check that she gave $35,000. No one's really had anything to say back about that, other than, Heavenly probably did, but I don't pay her much attention with all her yelling on her podcast episodes. I really don't, but they are really trying to come for Phaedra. And Phaedra made a statement when they were talking about the charity and what her raising and what she wasn't going to raise. She said, I ain't going to let a bunch of bitches sit up and tell me what I can and cannot do or raise. And all of a sudden they took offense to that. Of all the things that Heavenly has said to them or to them about them on her podcast and her confessionals, they are hanging on to Phaedra calling them bitches. So Simone had t-shirts made up with, those kind of bitches, and she gave them out. And also you have Quad being the spokesperson at the table. They were eating lunch on the vacation, and she's the one trying to explain how they are well respected bitches. They are top tier bitches, educated bitches, all of that. Okay. So is Phaedra. So is Phaedra, but they seemingly want to hold on to that and paint her as the bad guy. And I'm not here for it. Also on this trip, Quad is there with her man, along with G there with Sweet Tea. G is uncomfortable with being around Phaedra because of how she painted him to be this, aggressive, almost, seemingly DV instances happening. Also, Quad seems a little apprehensive to bring King around the group, which, by the way, I'm happy for Quad. But I'm also side-eyeing King. I have to be honest with you guys. If you follow King on Instagram, you will notice that prior to him being on this show, if they've been together for a year or so, it has been very quiet kept. He wasn't previously a person that posted much on Instagram. Since him joining this show, a lot of posting. He's at Watch What Happens Live. He's posting with Mia. And I have to side eye that. I do. You have to be leery of newcomers or relationships on these reality shows. You don't know who's out just for the clout, for the growth of their businesses, what this opportunity can bring to them. I would hope that that's not the case. Quad did mention that they are trying to start a family. He looked shocked in the crowd at Watch What Happens Live when she said that. If you saw his face, he was kind of like, we are. So I don't know. I'm just a little leery. I hope not. I want Quad to have love, find love, all of that, grow her family. I do. I'm just leery. And I usually am. I have to, he's going to have to prove himself. Like, who am I for him to prove himself to? I don't know. But I'm just not sold yet. Just being honest here. Other than that, I don't feel like there's really much else going on this show right now. Sweet Tea is doing a bunch of interviews, and I saw one recently. She's painting Quad out to be jealous of her relationship with G. I doubt it. You moved into the house that she was in. She's on the episode with Dr. Mimi, the other psychiatrist that's on the show now. And she is cleaning out Greg's house finally after marrying the man and throwing out things on camera that used to belong to Quad. I don't know, child. I'm just not interested. I don't feel like if you didn't see it, I've given you the best recap of it. And ain't much really going on. I am excited we're on the cash trip, though. There should be some things coming with the cash trip. We see some altercations break out. So between G and King, if you saw the trailer, I don't know what's going to happen with Dr. Heavenly and Phaedra. There's said to be some stuff that pops off there with Apollo being on the trip. So I don't know. I'm happy we're here at this point, but I have not enjoyed the ride along the way. Lackluster season for me. Still love them as a show, but just need some more excitement if I do say so myself. But those are my thoughts on Real Housewives of Potomac, as well as Married to Medicine. Now I will be back later for a live recap of Love and Hip Hop Miami. So look out for that. So again, please set your alerts and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss a thing. And also follow me at reality_recap on Instagram and Facebook so you stay up to date with all the reality that's happening in this world. It is your girl V with Reality Recap. I hope you enjoy your day, and I will be back later for a recap of Love and Hip Hop Miami. Peace.